If you are a Christian, faith-driven entrepreneur, this is for you. You might be asking yourself, does what I'm building even matter? Have you ever been there? Have you ever felt like you just sit back and you kind of take a deep breath and you think about all of the unrest around you? Do you just ever sit back and think like, does what I'm building even matter? Is this even worth it? And I first of all just want to tell you, if that's you, if you're sitting here as an entrepreneur, as somebody who loves Jesus, and you're asking yourself that question, you are not alone. And do you want to know what? I think that that question is such a good and healthy question to ask, because what's beneath that is you're asking, why am I even doing this? And if you've been with me for a while, you know that we have to ask why. We have to understand the why behind the what, especially because our faith is driving us. We need to know why. And so you're asking yourself this question, does what I'm building even matter? It's because you are genuinely wanting to do something that matters. So what do we do with it? What do we do when there are these questions that we have and we just want to say, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to throw in the towel. I want to tell you a few things today that are going to help you move forward with confidence and clarity. First of all, everything that you do as a follower of Jesus, you have an opportunity to wake up in the morning and to be a light to other people. So it doesn't matter if you are doing something creative, if you're in the corporate realm, if you're in the financial realm, in real estate, in content creation, it doesn't matter what you're doing, because the why behind it is that whomever you rub shoulders with, you get to show the love of Jesus to them. Now, what does that look like for you? Well, it's different for everybody, right? But simply by being around you, they are exposed to the Lord. They are exposed to the light of Jesus. They're exposed to the Holy Spirit. And so you can ask yourself the question, okay, well, am I living my life in such a way, and am I conducting business in such a way where I am bearing that fruit? I'm showing that fruit. I'm showing that light, because you never know. You never know what kind of situation is in front of you where you get to actually share Jesus. Most of the time, it might just be a smile. It might be saying, hey, I really appreciate you. I'm grateful for you today. It might be something as simple as that, and just exuding your values. But other times, it might actually be an opportunity where somebody says, hey, I have had the worst year of my life. And you're wondering, you're asking yourself, like, why are they opening up to me like this? Like, do I have a big mark on my forehead that's like, share all your stuff with me? I believe that the Lord is actually moving in those situations, and He's giving you an opportunity to share the love of Jesus. So why do you keep going amidst hard times? I think now is the time to step on the gas, because you want to know what? The more people you interact with, the more business you conduct, the bigger you grow your company, if that is your goal, the more revenue that you generate. What does that mean? More people to impact, more people that you are rubbing shoulders with and crossing every single day. And you can say, hey, Lord, today, help me steward these people well. Help me show the love of Jesus well. And in the midst of uncertain times, it is like never before. The opportunity is greater than ever before, because people are scared. People are worried. And I don't mean like use the fear against them. That's the complete opposite of what I'm saying. I'm saying come at them with kindness, with love, with generosity, with those values that drive you as a person. Let them filter every decision and conversation that you have. So I believe that now is the time to step on the gas and grow your businesses, because the world needs faith-driven Christian entrepreneurs. The world needs us. I want to take a moment before we continue today's video to invite you into something new. At Overflow Worship, we believe that leadership is worship in action. We believe it's not just about influence, it's about stewardship. It's showing up with integrity, courage, and conviction, especially when no one's watching. It's surrendering your plans to God and still building with bold, strategic action. We exist to equip leaders like you with more than inspiration. We give you the how, systems, strategies, and usable tools that simplify growth, guard your peace, and multiply your impact, because you weren't meant to lead alone. So I want to personally invite you into our community by subscribing to our free newsletter today. I'll send you encouragement and the tools and truth you need right to your inbox. Visit overflowworship.com/newsletter or click the link below. Let's get back to today's video. And so don't sell yourself short. What God put inside of you, that desire to be creative, to build a business, to build something, it's not bad. And you wanna know what? I have spent a lot of my life wrestling with that. Is it bad that I wanna make money? Is it bad that I wanna build this? But I keep coming back to, there's a desire in my heart. God put something there. And so I'm gonna steward it. I'm gonna steward it well. And yes, of course, I ask the Lord to keep me in check, right? Make your desires my desires, right? And so it's important for us to keep ourselves in alignment with the Lord as we go so that we don't let money or stress or growth or achievements overtake us. But you do have an incredible opportunity. So if you're driven and you feel bad about it, you can stop that right now because God has put that drive inside of you for a reason. Now, the second thing that I want to encourage you with today, I want you to think about Nehemiah. Nehemiah in the Bible, this story has been so impactful for me. And if you haven't read the book of Nehemiah before, I encourage you to go and do it. It's not super long. I think it's like 13 or 14 chapters. And it's very impactful because here's the thing, Nehemiah was commissioned to go and rebuild the wall, right? The wall that had been crumbled and torn down by just so many different wars and invasions. And so the city was no longer protected, right? And so he's been commissioned to go and rebuild the wall, protect the city again. And he is like bullied and people try to distract him. People threaten him. He has to go out at night and at first do it in a really sneaky way because he doesn't want anybody else to find out what he's doing because he's afraid. And then God gives him courage to say, this is what I've called you to do. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. I've spent so much of my life wondering, why in the world am I doing this thing that makes sense to nobody else? It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else, right? If God has put this desire in your heart, move forward in it. So Nehemiah stepped forward in the call of God and he began to do the work. So he gets all the people of Israel, right? All the people that he can that are there in the city to help. And he's constantly got this process, like he's rebuilding government. He's rebuilding processes. He's got people on guard all the time. And then the workers are also working with swords at their side all the time because they're getting constantly ridiculed and bullied. And there's one part in there where Nehemiah says, because there's bullies that come and they're like basically just heckling him, right? And trying to trick him into stopping all these things. And he says, I am doing a good work. I cannot come down. And it's like they're calling and saying like, oh, the governor wants to see you. Oh, like they're basically just trying to trick him because they want to kill him. They want him to stop what he's doing. And he says, I am doing a good work. I cannot come down. And I dove deep into the story of Nehemiah. I read this book called Hand Me Another Brick by Charles Swindoll. And it's an older book, but it was so impactful for me. And that has stuck with me as I read that book and have unpacked it. That one phrase, I am doing a good work. I cannot come down. And so for you, that's what I want you to walk away with today. Ask yourself, what good work has God put in me to do? And just because it doesn't look like what you think it should look like or what it looks like for everybody else, or maybe you are not on staff in a church anymore, you used to be and you're not, or you never were and you were called to the business world, that's an important calling too. You are doing a good work. And so as you think about all of the hard things that are going on and you want to quit, I challenge you to move forward with confidence and ask yourself the question, what's the good work that God has called me to do? Remind yourself every day, what is the good work that God has called me to do? And then when those thoughts come in and say, man, does this even matter? You got to remind yourself, no, it does. I am doing a good work. I cannot come down. And so when you feel that pressure and that question and that wondering, you know that your good work, whatever the medium is, however you get there, the end result of that good work is that you are sharing Jesus with people. You are sharing the love of Christ with people every single day through your creativity, through your business, through whatever it is that God has equipped you and called you to do. So that's what I want to leave you with today. You are doing a good work. You can't come down because God needs his people to rise up And he needs his people to share the love of Jesus through the gifts that he has given them. And you have a unique gift as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. So go forward in confidence and use it. Until next time, I'll see you then.